find a clinic.
Hey, Seattle, tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
What up, yo? We are back. This is Pep and the man that don't take no mess, Mr. O-P-I-S, Mr. Stevenson. What say you?
I hope you see the hat that I'm wearing right now. That's how mad I am.
I do. Man, you are angry.
I just want to make that be known.
Tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Lidline Sports.
Hey, y'all. It's Traffic Jam with Kareem.
Thursday at 4 p.m.
Hey, Traffic Jam. Brand Avenue Radio. Download the app so you don't miss out what's popping on Crack with Shiny. It's your boy, Cream the Dream, on another beautiful week on here on Traffic Jam in Seattle. I hope you guys doing what you're supposed to do, being supposed to be. I got a good show for y'all. A lot to talk about. You know, Kareem the Dream, keep up with everything.
Get your entertainment news with Kareem on the Traffic Jam, Thursday at 4 p.m.
This holiday season, come celebrate community, culture, and creativity at Together We Thrive Holiday Market, Saturday, December 13th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. inside the historic Columbia City Theater. Step into a festive wonderland filled with local entrepreneurs, unique handcrafted gifts, and the true spirit of the holiday. This isn't just a market, it's a movement. Because when we build together, we thrive together. At the heart of the Together We Thrive Holiday Market is mission, strengthening our community, increasing awareness of Black home ownership opportunities, creating pathways to generational wealth, and showing that our collective success is our community's greatest strength. Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to partner with the Black Home Initiative and the Washington Home Ownership Resource, helping spread the word about real resources, real pathways to homeownership. Enjoy holiday music, community connection, and a day dedicated to supporting local entrepreneurs. So join us Saturday, December 13th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Columbia City Theater. Together We Thrive Holiday Market. Shop local, build community, create legacy.
You're listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, RainierAvenueRadio.world, and on Twitter at RainierAvRadio.
All right. Here we are. Seattle Sports Weekly. I am your host. Marire. You want to say it, I would say the native, the Zimbabwean, the Shona way. But it's always funny how the English language has a way of, I always call it the English language is like a cockroach. Yikes. Yeah, thing that like once you get it, it takes forever to get rid of it. But you can't. Why do I say that? Such a reference. Because the English language is probably the hardest language to learn because of all the slang, all the different slangs that encompass the linguistic aspects of it, right? I mean, whether it's the only real English that's standard is the colloquial, hello there, mate, how are you? And the traditional English language. And that could be for another story. But, us, them, there, they are, but nobody speaks like that. So because actually, the more I think about it, because of a positiveness, because of the melting pot, the different cultures that came in to the American society, they slanted a little bit of the language. There was a little bit more slang put in. The Italians, I mean, obviously the England, like I'm talking about, the settlers. But, as we all know, the Native American language was here. And there was so much effort into, killing the English language, the native tongue, to promote humanity, if you will. So reading this really good book, Raiding Sweetgrass, and this morning she was talking about that. But yeah, as if you remember, your history, right? The Native Americans were sent to schools, boarding schools, and, the males were the vernacular was taken out. But as I said, and also the females were, taught how to sew, how to cook, everything but to stay on the land, and that was not honored. So to circle back, so what happens is I had to honor the Native American language because I don't think a lot of we're doing a real good job now, especially here in Seattle and I think on the West Coast, of paying tribute to the land that we're on, the Duwamish tribe, if you will, and that's great. But I'm not sure there's enough discussion about the language itself and the spirituality of it. So, unfortunately, then the settlers come in, and there's because think about it, how many Native American terms do we have in our language? Now, I gave myself some homework, but if you begin to think about it, how many in English terms from, let's say, slang from the Italians, from Hispanics, Swahili is another of the languages that and I'm forgetting many here, but well, definitely we know, especially on the East Coast, right? So there you go. I mean, it's just an interesting concept in the English language, and so there's a lot going on in the world of sports, and it's been whirlwind. Was over at the FIFA World Cup club draw over at the Kennedy Center, and it was just an amazing event. And I just, what I did? I was like, how am I going to be able to show this? So I just put together some videos and some pictures. I was lucky enough to be in the Kennedy Center, and it's interesting. It's interesting, and having all three presidents from Mexico, the U.S., and Canada in the same room, the Kennedy Center. So I'll show that. But front and center is the Seattle Seahawks. How good is their defense? The Seahawks come out with another 37-9 win. Not another, but they win again over the Atlanta Falcons. Well, they should have, and they did. One of the things that the Seahawks, Mike McDonald and his staff have done a really good job is about focusing on the process. That's why I like that. I mean, you hear from Mike McDonald. So like I hear about the process, because he's really got this as a process, as a program. And when he first got here, I remember his first press conference. I asked him because Mike went to Michigan and became a defensive coordinator. And I didn't ask the depth of the question I should have, but he answered and said, well, I just wanted to go to coach college. The more I think about it, because Mike McDonald is really entrenched in the Harbaugh tapestry, if you will, because Jim Harbaugh was there coaching Michigan at the time when Mike became the defensive coordinator. Well, he was special teams, and then Mike then got plucked by John Harbaugh, who is the coach of the Baltimore Ravens, and that's when Mike became, their brothers, of course, the Harbaughs were, and that's when Mike McDonald became the defensive coordinator for Baltimore Ravens team. That was just incredible. And in the end, that his success there, ingenuity and his ability to scheme up defenses that are aggressive, got him the job here. This is his second year, and now you're beginning to see, here's somebody that said, no, for me to become a head coach, I have to go here and methodically learn at the different levels. And, and of course, Jay Harbaugh is the special teams coach for the Seahawks. So, and you saw the 100-yard return by Rashid Shaheed. But the Seahawks were just dominant. And what you're seeing now, again, is the Seahawks' ability to, in terms of McDonald and his staff, dial up these certain plays. And the way that the Seahawks play defense is it all looks the same. So you as a quarterback line up and you're saying, okay, man, it's the same look I got last down on first down, second down, and but yet that's when the Seahawks in their not only pre-snap but also in the post-snap. Pre-snap they look the same. They got 3 up front, and then they have the 5 there. And then when post-snap the ball is hiked, that's when the deception happens. That is when you as a quarterback were like, wait a minute, last time I looked, Devon Witherspoon was covering the flat. And when Witherspoon got his interception, what he did was he fooled the the Falcons quarterback. And so he looked like he was going to blitz Witherspoon as he had done the previous play, but he took 3 steps back and covered the tight end, tipped the ball, and then got the interception. Those are the little things that are making the Seahawks a defense nobody wants to face. You just don't. And in that, rookie Nick Emanwari had his coming out party, if you will. Right now he's nominated for NFC Rookie of the Week, his second nomination. This guy had 6 tackles, two tackles for a loss, a pass defense, a blocked field goal, and an interception. Yeah, all in one game, and as a rookie. And now you're beginning to see, the ingenuity of Mike McDonald. He's got some athletes there, Devin Witherspoon, the ability for Witherspoon, as I said and was talking before this, his deceptiveness, his ability, and along with, let's say, Ernest Jones, who's the middle linebacker, if you will, Drake Thomas. Here's a team that has had injuries and yet has sustained winning. And now you're starting to get healthy. Jaron Reed came back, and so did Julian Love, who is the heart and soul of the back line. Their free safety. He was the one that, they don't call him strong and free safety, if you will. They just call them their 2 safeties. But Love really, in my mind, though, he only played like 23 snaps, he was the difference. When he's back there, it allows the back. It allows the other cornerbacks, because Love's communication and his deceptiveness and awareness, because he's the one that's calling the plays from the back end. Ernest Jones, the middle linebacker, is calling the plays from the middle. And so, those 3 blocks, if you will, their ability to communicate quickly and play off each other is vital, and that's what's working for the Seahawks. And that is the difference. And this is why this defense, you get 2 of your best players coming back, leaders of their unit. Yeah, it's no wonder that you shut out. You've had 2 shutouts, back-to-back shutouts here. The Seahawks have. Because remember the 26 win over Minnesota, and you follow that up with a 37-9. And when I mean shutout is, you kept the other team from the end zone. And against the Falcons, 2 field goals. And the Falcons were driving late in the game. In fact, I think they had a third, and the last Falcons drive, it was down. The Seahawks made a defiant goal line stance, and it's critical to understand, because most of the time teams aren't going to stand up for that, but the Seahawks defense absolutely did. And yeah, they made a goal line stance. It was 1st and 5 at the Seattle 5-yard line, and 4 consecutive plays in a row, the Seahawks stopped the Falcons. And this was 5:13 left in the game. Kirk Cousins incomplete pass. So, all right. So let's do that. Let's listen to Mike McDonald from yesterday's press conference.
Come out of that game, I think that's image that's in my mind is the guys celebrating with each other, and just the joy they have when their teammates have success, and just kind of talk about 12 as one. That's it right there, just in a nutshell. And happy for Nick, all the work he's put in. He had a tremendous game. Guys were excited for him, so that was really cool. Well, yeah, I think AB graded out as our highest offensive lineman yesterday, and he's playing hard, and he's got a great punch. I think his overall confidence is like probably at his high point in his career at this point. Practicing really well, practices hard. I mean, doing all those steps that it takes, to end up putting good football out on the field. I know there's some plays that are minuses, or plays that aren't up to par, but there's a lot of great plays as well. And I thought he had a good game yesterday.
Hayakata, Drake Thomas, Josh Jobe all came into this league undrafted. Two of them ended up with multiple teams before they landed here in Seattle. Seeing what those guys have been able to accomplish, what do you think are the biggest keys for a player who was passed over in April to succeed in this league? And how does your system foster that ability for guys like that?
Man, that's a doozy right there. Well, I think that the first thing that comes to mind is you got to give props to our personnel department. I mean, they just do a great job. It feels like every person we bring into the building, especially in the last 2 years, you can see the potential. You can say, hey, you're like really excited to work with these guys, and our coaches have done a phenomenal job of setting out the time to work with them as well. And on the players front, it's have a great attitude and freaking get after it every day, and just practice the way we practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but prepare your tail off. Come in with a great attitude, and compete. It's just. And I think one of the things that we do, I wouldn't say it's like a schematic thing. I just think as a program, we get a lot of reps, and we practice our young guys a lot, and we coach those guys up. I mean, all those reps are coachable reps, and we see it as an opportunity for our guys to grow. So.
Hey, Mike, so the Falcons convert their first third down, and then they don't convert a third down for the rest of the game. They go 0 for 12. And then Witherspoon's interception is on 3rd and 3. And all your interceptions and fumbles were all on third down. I know your team, your process isn't, this is third down, let's play our best. But what is it that's having you and your defense play so well on third and coming up with these? What's that in your process?
Well, I got to give Carl Scott a lot of credit. He brought a lot of. He always has great ideas every week. He does a lot of the third down game planning for us. And he was convicted about some of the calls that we had this past game, and it was great to see those things come to life. So, and the guys did a great job of executing it. In Nick's interception, that's a defense we don't play that often, and the guys executed it phenomenally well. But it was really Carl's idea, and it was great to make it come to life. And then on the short yardage play, I mean. That's Chris Partridge's area. He does a great job game planning for it. Always has a great plan every week, and gives the guys a lot of confidence. And then at the end of the day, you guys got to go make plays, and you got to attack the football. And we had a funny little TV copy debate on who actually got the ball out, whether it was Jay Reed or D Law on the forced fumble. Turns out that DeMarcus beat him by a hair there. So sorry, Jay Reed, but next time, buddy.
And then this is from this morning. What kind of team do you have on a day-to-day basis? I think we're talking about the process. And I mean, what kind of team do you have on a day-to-day basis?
It's just us. It's just who we are. We just want to be us every day. We just had our team meeting here a while ago, and the guys are sore and they're tired, and they're beat up, but. The attitude is, hey, we're here and we're going to get our work done. We're going to attack this day and get better, and then go back and get ready to move on the rest of the week. So that's all you can ask for. And the guys have each other's backs, and it's a great group to go to work with every day.
Hey, Mike, a few times now you've mentioned wanting more explosives in your run game. Why do you think those haven't come to whatever number, to level of efficiency that you would like?
Well, we joke about it in the team room that we feel like we're a block away, and when I'm hearing your question, I'm thinking of like Sharbs' run early in the game yesterday, where we hit our spots and we got to the third level blocks, and Sharbs had a great run, and and got to the next level. I think that's something that we just got to keep attacking on offense. I think we're running really good plays. I think the guys are playing really hard. I think we're finishing plays really well. But I think when you start to get these, kind of like our kick return game, it's like we're right there. It's a block away. It's a detail here. It's a detail there. I don't think we need wholesale changes. It's just we got to just keep, chiseling away at this thing, and then ultimately, we'll see the results that we want.
And one last one. What do you just make of Sam's overall numbers and efficiency compared to how often has turned the ball over this year?
Efficiency compared to how you turn the ball over. If you just look at how many times we've turned the ball over, I think we'd all say it's too many. But I think Sam's playing really good football for us. There's a couple plays a game where we got to protect the ball a little bit better. But when Sam's clicking, and he has been for the majority of the season, I mean, we're playing really efficient football, and he's leading the charge for us. So keep plugging away, keep attacking it, keep slinging the ball, and we'll just, again, just like every other position, there's always things to correct from a week to week basis. Find new things to screw up, we'll keep growing from it together, and let's go rock and roll. Yeah, Ken's doing a great job. I mean, look, like you can't just say at the stat line and say he didn't have a good game. It's like he's playing incredibly hard. He's doing what we asked him to do. So sometimes the runs aren't there, or the defense makes a good play, or maybe we're not in a great play. So my message to him is just keep plugging away, keep doing all the things you're going to be doing that you've been doing, and it's going to work out. It's just we got to stick to this process. We can't be all bundled up with the results right now. We got to look at and see why some of these runs aren't hitting the way we want them to hit. And it's a team thing. It's not just a Ken thing.
All right, so there you go. Mike McDonald kind of taking you through his thought process. I always think that it's interesting to hear the coaches, and if you start listening more from the holistic part of it, then you begin to understand, see how this thing is being built. And it's being built pretty good so far, as I said. And going back to Sam Darnold, he's got 11 interceptions for the season, and he had one against the Falcons. And again, it was one of those that it was tipped. But after the game, Darnold also said, "Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have thrown," because he threw the ball from his right across his body to the left to Elijah Arroyo, tight end. And there was a defender there who tipped the ball up in the air, and then it was picked off. So the question is, should he have thrown it? And Darnold after the game said, "Yeah, maybe I should have thrown it higher because Arroyo is a big tight end there." So the run game is something that has been of a discussion, contention, and yeah. So the Seahawks had 26 attempts for 129 yards. You want to, as a team, you want to rush over 100 yards per game. That's always kind of when you get to the century mark. Why that is, it means it's opening up. It opens up the play action for your team. Going into the game, the Seahawks offense, their run game was actually ranked 18, and they were averaging 116 yards. And if you look at that overall, the offense is ranked 9th. Well, that's because of your pass offense is also 9th and one of the best in the league. So the 9 and 13 it wedges out to the ranking. So, and that's something that the Seahawks have been trying to work on. You heard Mike McDonald. I don't need to repeat that part of it. And another note is Jalen Sundell, who was the center, is slated to return. Although Timmy has been starting the last 4 games. It's interesting. As much as the Seahawks are winning, there's a lot of contention about Anthony Bradford. If you go on the internet and Twitter or whatnot, people, all kind of experts and analysts are they're roasting him. That is Anthony Bradford in terms of his blocking ability. But Seahawks are winning, and you heard Mike McDonald say that Anthony Bradford was the highest graded offensive lineman last game. So then you wonder, like, all right, what's facts or fiction? But it'll be interesting to see when Anthony Bradford comes back. Do they switch him to, Jalen Sandell, do they switch him to the guard position, or do they put him back at center? That will be telling. And Sandell is slated to practice this week, so I'll be able to wait and see. I don't want to promise anything next week, only because I can tell you right now, the Seahawks play the Colts on Sunday, and you can't make this stuff up. So, Colts starting quarterback Daniel Jones suffered a season-ending Achilles injury. So, rookie Riley Leonard is slated to start. And the team signed Phillip Rivers. He tried today. Why that name sounds familiar? Because Rivers retired, and he's actually a semifinalist for this year's 2026 NFL Hall of Fame. But he's coming back to help out his old friend, Shane Steichen, who was his coach over at when they played for the Chargers. So Rivers is familiar with the Colts offense. And Brett Rippon, sounds familiar? Yeah, from Spokane. Remember Mark Rippon, WSU? But Brett Rippon is next up as the second string quarterback. So it made sense for the Chargers to go out and get Rivers, future on his way to the Hall of Fame quarterback, to come out and be a backup. I don't think he will play on Sunday, but it's more for an emergency in case something happens to Jones, and then they have to make a decision as to if and when that which happens to Jones. Do you then bring in Rippon, or do you bring in and then are you going to bring in Rivers? And it all depends, I think, if and when, if that happens, and let's hope it doesn't, injury wise. Look, you want your team to beat the other team, but you never want your team to beat your opponent because of an injury, because in that there's will intent there, and really will intent is something that you just want to stay away from sports and in life. All right, so there's that. And let's see. Yeah, Nick Mamori, I said he's being nominated for second rookie. And then thank you, I see Hawks, for the approach. For the comment there. But yeah, so there you go. And I was saying that after the Colts game, Nelly, as Keith Jackson used to say, look, let me tell you right now, after Sunday, no, right now, you can multitask if you don't have tickets, because after Sunday, the Seahawks play the Rams that they're tied with for the NFC West on Thursday, 5:15 at Lumen Field. If you ain't got your tickets, brother, sister, auntie, Mookie, Ray, Jose, LaQuisha, Shingy, whatnot. Hey, get it now if you can, because that is the biggest game for the Seahawks this season coming up. And it's only 4 days from Sunday. So that's why I was like, I'm not sure we'll have a show. I hate to tell Daniel that but I just don't know what the schedule is going to be. On a shortened week, normally the Seahawks, what happens after Sunday, they have the press conference, team is off on Monday, and then they're off on Tuesday. But there you go. Good job, D-Money. I just don't know. They'll have to tweak their schedule. So it's a truncated schedule. Everything will happen between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I doubt they'll practice on Wednesday. I guess I could look up right here in the team's release, but I don't think they'll play on Tuesday. So I'm sorry, I don't think they will practice on Wednesday. Because normally what a team does the day before the game, they have a walkthrough, and then the coach gives us an update. So to be determined is all I can tell you. And from there on, we're going to go to, we're going to go to break. D-Money, take us to the break. And then we got World Cup. We got Jared DePota gets an award. Good Lord. And the Sounders they trade, sign, or Danny Laver is gone. So a lot more stuff on the other side of the break. And, of course, we'll talk Husky sports. Where are the Huskies going bowl-wise? And what's this? The Husky basketball men's team is actually competitive? I don't know. We'll find out. Andrew Bailey will join us later. So that is it for the first half of Seattle Sports Weekly. We're going to go to the dressing room, make some changes, and come out with the second half strategy to take us for the win.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.rainieravenue.radio.world.
Sediment cleanup of the lower Duwamish River has begun. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the members of the Lower Duwamish Waterway Group, which includes King County, the City of Seattle, and Boeing, have begun sediment cleanup of the Lower Duwamish Waterfall Superfund site. This important environmental project will address sediment pollution and help restore the health of the Duwamish River. Starting in the waterway's upper reach, construction activities extend from the south 102nd Street Bridge down straight to the Duwamish Waterway Park. Over the next 3 years, in-water activities will occur from October to February, ending in February 2027. Visit ldwg.org to learn about the upper reach cleanup and sign up for email updates.
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Salvador from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam.
Kung gusto niyo po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung local Filipino community, Phil Radio po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news.
Kaya always tune in, Phil Radio, every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific time on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
And in YouTube and Facebook. Salamat po.
What do you get when culture, climate, and community collide? You get Earth Deserves More Than a Day. Rainier Avenue Radio and King County Park stew down with a week of real talk, real people, and real solutions. This ain't your average Earth Day. Tune in and feel the energy because the movement is now.
My name is BK, International Talent Scout. I'm bringing a brand new show to you called BK Present. 30 minutes, non-stop. Your favorite in gospel music studio session. Going deep into interviews with your favorite artists, producers, and their engineers. You and your concert previews and concert reviews. Get it all on bkpresent.com.
This winter, I don't want illness to get in the way of my holiday plan. That's why I got my annual flu and COVID shot. Everyone ages 6 months and older and get the flu and COVID shot each year. They make it less likely you'll get sick, and even if you do get infected, you won't get as sick. Free vaccines are available even if you don't have health insurance. For more information, visit kingcounty.gov/find a clinic. That's kingcounty.gov/find a clinic.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not driving my sweet AMC Pacer through the car wash, I'm listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world. You missed a spot.
That's right. Here we go. Seattle Sports Weekly, second half. Thought I was gonna keep going, did you, in terms of my singing? Nah, I tell you what. When it comes to singing and music, I did play the trumpet way back in the day. I was actually pretty good. I made it to the middle school all-city band as a trumpet player. That's right. Yeah. I got a bit of music in me. How can I not? I've got some amazing family. OG Mambo, my cousin, he's on the show here. I think he co-hosts with D Money. If I remember, D Money, is he co-hosting with you? Will you put up the flyer if he's part of your show? But I know he's on there. Y'all kind of do your thing, and of course, I've got from there. Oh boy, I probably started with my uncle Doomy, came here, and then his daughter Choniso. God rest their souls, both of them. But Doomy, the king, amazing PhD ethnomusicology at the University of Washington, and then his kids, as I said, Choniso was an international artist in Zimbabwe, and now her younger daughter Chingeto, official, is also doing some really amazing things. And I have to shout out to I shouldn't have started this subject, but it's all good. Then I got to shout out to Tendai and he's Shabazz Palace, and then also Drez is he's doing his thing in LA. And then I think it's coming. Oh, I think this is public. And then of course ZNI Z Music is also, he's rocking and rolling and doing his thing. And I think there's I think I can say it. I think he's gonna have a concert there at the Columbia City Theater. I know that him and Mr. Tony B were working out some things, and I think it is public that they're going to. There you go, music, and also Albert Smith, another one of my nephews. They're doing music, so it goes on and on and on in terms of music. But we even have the educational side. As you know, my sister's a PhD. She's a doctor. She's a neurosurgeon, one of the top 10 in the world. So there you go. And also my shout out to my little niece Alice, who's recovering. So I could go on and on and on about family. Why couldn't you? And if you can't, that's on you. Yeah. I'm going to take a couple minutes to shout out to my family. I should say my friends too, but the family shout out. And also to John Hunt of Hunt Construction. So there you go. Just joy, 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 joy. And speaking of joy, look, the holidays really are about family, food, and everything else, empowering our community. And one of the things Rainier Avenue is doing now is the Together We Thrive holiday market. And it's under the whole Shop Local Christmas. And it's being held at the Columbia City Theater this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Look, you don't always have to go out there and rack up your credit card debt or, spend what little left money that you have, but just go by there. You know what I mean? And just your presence and I mean presence as in SENCE makes a difference. It doesn't cost us anything to smile and say hello to our neighbors and, and spread joy. That is really what the holiday season is about. And then if you feel inclined, dip in your pocket, spend a little something, because as you know, I think local, Rainier Avenue Radio really stands for community, and it's about empowering community, not, in terms of the vendors, in terms of the businesses, but the schools and the people, the volunteers, and all those that make up our community. So get a chance, head out there this Saturday, December 13th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Just take a stroll. Take a stroll and see all the festivities and everything else. So there you go. All right. So we're gonna go. I gotta switch. I gotta do FIFA World Cup, and Seattle's gonna host 6 matches. Yay! So how this worked out was Seattle is one of 16 host cities. This is 48 teams. This is the most that's been in FIFA, and Seattle will host 4 group stage, and then they will have a knockout stage. And I don't know why. A round of 16 and a round of 13 is what will happen for Seattle. And, this FIFA unveiling party that was back east was just incredible. It was a who, and, I like soccer. I mean, that's, soccer is that's my jam. And I mean, FIFA just did it up. And then, so there's a pre-function. And as I said, the U.S. soccer coach was there, former coach, Italian soccer coach, everybody was there. And it's at the Kennedy Center. It's one of those where, swanky wanky, whether you walk to the right, there is a station of food, different food. You go over there, there's a station of food. You go over here, there's a station of food. So in terms of the schedule itself, good job, D-Money. The Seattle's first game will see Belgium and Egypt here. All games are 12 o'clock. And then match 32, which is Group stage game 2, we'll see Australia against USA. And that should be interesting. There's a possibility that Seattle Sounders midfielder Christian Rodin could be on the U.S. men's roster. He's played last couple, participated U.S. men's friendly, and so he's got a chance at this. And then June 24th, it'll be Qatar, who hosted the 2022 World Cup, and they'll play the winner of the European qualifier. That'll see Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and then Bosnia-Herzegovina. They'll all play, those 4. And the winner then will be here, so in Seattle. And then Egypt will come back on the 26th against Iran. So, I mean, look, me as African, yeah, let's go. The Egyptians are coming. Yeah, a lot of people don't even want to say the Egyptians are African, but that's for the earlier show that we had. Look, so there you go. And then from there, there's a group stage game and then the knockout stage. So exciting things are happening. All right, so I'm gonna try to squeeze this in because you gotta see this. Let's see that video, D Money, of the FIFA World Cup draw. And Lauren Hill was there. Yeah. So all right, let's go, D Money. Let's see if we can squeeze this in before we go. What's that video? All right, so we'll see if we can play that video. And I might just have to try to play it as a share screen here. Let me see. All right, that's what I'll do. I will. I mean, it's worth it. Trust me. You all got to see this, and it's one of those. So I'm gonna go a different way. Let's share. We're gonna share the screen. And which one is it? I mean, this was just an amazing, swanky type of event. And I can't see. I can't show it here. We don't want that. Oh, shoot. I don't think D-Money's got it. Daniel, can we share that, the video? All right, so we're not going to be able to. What I'm going to do instead, the one with Frontino, the guy with the mic. The other one is just a picture. Can we get that through there?
Assalamu alaikum, welcome and enjoy the party tonight. We are here to celebrate, of course, the World Cup in this beautiful Kennedy Center, to celebrate the draw of the World Cup, which takes place tomorrow. We are here to unite the entire world, the 48 teams, the 48 countries participating, the 16 host cities. Everyone is here represented tonight, and of course, we have this, the World Cup. The game I don't want to be longer, will be longer, of course. Tomorrow, we are here to enjoy, we are here to have a party, we are here to have fun. So have a bite, have a drink, enjoy the music, enjoy the spectacle, which will start now. And see you later. Enjoy. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
There he is. That is our president, Donald Trump. I don't care what you say. He is the United States president. So, here's the Canadian game. Andrea Bocelli was there, famous Italian singer. And a couple of these, that's George Weah, one of the most, and Rio Ferdinand from Man U, but George Weah was one of the most. There he is, U.S. men's soccer coach. This is the kind of thing that I do with star-studded and that's it. Trump was there. There's all three presidents.
deal is it
Prime
to
Minister from
co-host the
Canada,
World Cup for Canada?
also.
Difficult question, I know, but
It is the biggest. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop there. I mean, the other stuff was amazing, but I do want to get to our to the Husky coverage here real quickly. Yeah, we got a little bit of a minute, but let me start with the Sounders let go of Danny Leva. Well, they didn't. It's not let go. That is wrong. Bad journalism. But they traded Danny Leva over to Club Mexico Casa, and for me, it didn't make sense. I mean, it just didn't, because they in the midfield, they're weak in the midfield, and what I mean by that in terms of depth. So I think this signals that the Sounders are going to make another move. What's happening with the midfield is, if you remember, it's Christian Roldan, Obed Vargas. Those are the two. Now the Sounders list Paul Arriola, but he's come back from injury. So is Pedro de la Vega coming back from injury as well. So there's some health and longevity there. Albert Rusnak is probably your other midfielder that's there, but Jesus Ferreira is more of a winger, but he's not a true holding midfielders, which is what Danny Leva was able to do. He came in and spelled Christian Roldan and Obed Vargas. So in that mid block there, I think you're very thin. Let's see, Reed Baker Whiting, they list him there, and I don't, he's more of a wing back, and then also Georgie Menungu from Burkina Faso, another African country, and he's more of a winger. So this move perplexed me. And I would then say, look for the Sounders to make another move there in the midfield. So ode to Danny Leva, amazing young player, really good guy, was always there to speak, and they must have got some good money, because that's part of what happens in soccer, right? Your offers and things like that. So, I mean, to back up a little bit and slow down, is each of the, it's like trading a player. The difference in soccer and the NFL, and I think in the NBA, is that in soccer, instead of draft picks and everything else, in soccer, you actually get paid. There's a transfer fee that's there. And so a lot of the teams with the Sounders will do. Some of the middle teams will then have a really good academy, bring up players, and then sell them. And you've seen that happen all the time. Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United to Real Madrid, David Beckham, on and on. Kylian Mbappe from PSG to, it's the way that the soccer is set up, which actually makes a interesting amount of sense there, and dollars, if you will. Hey, all right. So with that, let's get to, as I said, Jared DePorter was named American League manager, executive of the year. So there you go. How you like that? He's named Baseball America's 2020 Executive of the Year. I have to delve into that a little bit more next week. And he's come a long way, DePorter has, from his 50% of their games comment. And with that, let's get to Montlake and hear what is going on with the University of Washington Huskies. First of all, Andrew, let's start with you in Husky football. Where are the Dogs going?
They're going to the LA Bowl this weekend, so another trip to Los Angeles for them.
Wait a minute, that's just down the road. It's a little early for bowl season, isn't it?
I know, right? It's kind of crazy. They're one of the first ones, so they get the benefit of playing early is that most of the players want to play because they don't have to practice all these extra weeks. They just have, it's almost like they just had a bye week and now they're playing another game.
Yeah. Well, no, okay, all right, but you don't get as much money, correct?
I don't know. How much money can you get from an LA Bowl?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you'd rather play on January 1st, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
those days are long gone. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's the next goal. But this is a second consecutive bowl, right? So that's a good thing. What did Jed Fish say? I know you're you were there. Yeah, what did Fish have to say about it?
All the players are really excited to play, and they're all going to play. So that's good news.
Come on, you're giving me the company line. What do you think? You come on here. Give me your analytical stuff here. Not the UWs. All right, but
all right.
Tell me your thoughts on this. It for me, it's a disappointment. What about you?
It's a little disappointing. I think they would have liked to have played in the Holiday Bowl on January 2nd if they had their choice and get to play against another Power 4 school. But, losing to Wisconsin, that kind of did that in. They weren't able to make that happen because of that game. But I would say next best thing, you get to play in an NFL stadium, and Jonah Coleman and Denzel Boston get to showcase their skills in front of NFL scouts. Young players like Desmond Roebuck and Adam Muhammad get to play on a big stage in a primetime game. They're going to be the only game going on Saturday, college football wise, at 5:00. So about as good as you can ask for, I would say, as far as that's concerned.
No, that's fair. I think that's a really, really good good point there, just in terms of you're the only game in town, but they're playing Boise State, correct?
Yeah, the winners of the Mountain West. They were in the college football playoff, though, a year ago. A little bit of a backtrack this year. They have 4 losses. Last year they only had 1, but still good opponent.
Yeah, and Washington fans are familiar, and so are you with Boise State. Obviously, the connection from Chris Peterson and whatnot, and also Seattle Seahawks player. He is on IR right now. George Holani was
right
played there, Boise State. So yeah, as far as playing, showcasing in the NFL, I mean, there's a team just across from where they play that I'm sure has kind of driven over the water and watched the Huskies a little bit. You know what I mean? Did you see John Schneider at any of the UW games this year?
I didn't cross paths with John Snyder this year, but I'm sure he's working extra hard to get that NFL draft board ready to go for 2026.
Yeah, no, and I say that because there has been times when Schneider has shown up to a Husky football game in past years. So, well, I guess that was Michael Penix was there. Kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense for him, for sure.
Fair enough. No, tell the fans also, but a lot of scouts attend the games. Is that right? Because when you're in the press box, isn't that back row? Sometimes NFL scouts attend the games. Is that fair?
Yeah, that is for sure. Especially when you look at the chart of where everyone sits and everything. Yeah, you will see NFL scouts listed on the seating chart, and there probably were quite a few at the last one because they had extra tables at the Oregon game. So, I mean, I think that might have been for more press, but it also probably was for more scouts too, because there's a lot of good players for Oregon and some for Washington as well.
Man, I tell you, doesn't matter what we say, your purple runs deep. There you go. Grad. All right. At least here you can, you can go ahead when you're writing your stuff. You've done a good job on CascadiaSports.net of not showing your UW bias, and you becoming a astute analytical journalist. So that's good. But as we continue, UW basketball. What? They beat USC? Is that right?
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. Came back from 18 points down to beat USC to end an 11-game losing streak against the Trojans. How about that?
Yeah, that is a surprise. And I know you didn't get to because there's only one of you, but you try to go to both press conferences. But can you tell us something about the state of USC, the state of USC we see, but the state of UW basketball, men's basketball?
They're trending in the right direction, that's for sure. Getting guys back healthy, I think, is really starting to help them out. Hannes Steinbach has had an amazing week. He had 29 points against UCLA, and he comes back, has another big game against USC with 24 points and 16 rebounds to collect his 5th double-double of the year. He's been incredible since he returned. He earned Freshman of the Week honors in the Big Ten. And Desmond Claude had a big game against USC as well, scoring 22 points against his former team, helping the Huskies make that comeback. Really, the defense picked things up there in the second half, because the first half, USC shot 50% from the field, got to the foul line a lot. And in the second half, USC only shot 25%. Huskies did a good job of not fouling and rebounding the ball tremendously in the second half. They out-rebounded the Trojans 25-12 in the second half, and just collectively as a unit just really picked things up in that second half to come from behind.
Now, Steinberg is from Wolfsburg, Germany, correct?
Correct.
So
yeah,
he
correct.
is, what are you seeing about his game? I mean, he leads the team in three-point percentage. I mean, what are you seeing in his game?
He can do just so much as not just a player who can post up in the paint, but he can also shoot it from deep. He's always in the right spot to get the rebounds. That's something Danny Sprinkle talked about, because I ended up going back and watching the press conference. He said he's kind of like a Dennis Rodman in that sense. He can read the angle of the rebound exceptionally well, and always just seem to find a way to get into the right place to get the rebound. And does so much more for this offense, because teams have to double team him and worry about him so much down low, and it opens up the game for other players to shoot the ball.
Yeah, and he led Germany to the silver medal in the 2025 FIBA, Federation International Basketball Association, the U19 World Cup, and which the German team lost to the United States in the gold medal game. So here's someone that's aware. All right, so we have a holiday party this Saturday, 4 to 6 at the theater. Oh, whoops. That's yeah, you too. You can go. That's a eternal thing. Andrew, you're invited to the holiday party as well. Hey, all right. So with that, Andrew, thanks. We gotta go, brother. I don't know if you
thank you
to the Radio Avenue Radio World Party, but yeah, holiday party. Good job, and your stuff is up there, CascadiaSports.net. So now you're just gonna focus on basketball, and you don't have to straddle the two.
Yeah, just one more LA Bowl for the Huskies on Saturday, and then off to basketball. It's going to be a fun winter covering basketball for the Huskies.
All right, fair enough. There he goes. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew Bailey of CascadiaSports.net. He is the resident Montlake Sports. All right, we got to go. So, again, don't forget the holiday party at Together We Thrive Holiday Market. That one's for you from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thanks, Team Money, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Thank you, fans. Thank you, listeners. All right, we out of here, and we will see you soon.